You've got dreams, deadlines, and maybe a little bit of chaos, and we've got you. This is Fearless Journeys, Thriving on Campus, the podcast that keeps it real about what it's actually like to be a student today. Think stress hacks, study tips, awkward roommate moments, and mental health check-ins. Because thriving isn't about being perfect, it's about being brave enough to keep going.
And we're back with another episode of Fearless Journeys, Thriving on Campus. I'm Steve, and I've got Corinne here with me. We're co-hosting this wonderful podcast. We're going to talk about today's final game plan. How do we do it without really burning ourselves out?
Yeah, something that we know lots of students deal with every year. So we're hoping you can find a pointer or two that can help make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure. I somewhat remember finals when I was back in school, and it was stressful.
Yeah. Well, and even just working here in this environment, we can feel it in the air.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Yes, we've experienced it, but also...
Yeah, there's this thing when midterms and finals comes up, and it's really crazy. Now that we're at the end of the semester, though, I mean, we're really going to feel it.
Yes.
Kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because it's that last push.
Yeah.
Before you can have a little break.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the break's so nice too.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about stress hacks, real talk with a student. Hopefully, if we can get somebody to talk about this, maybe, hopefully. If it is, it'll be there. And we're going to talk about some burnout prevention tips. We definitely need those.
Yeah. So our first thing that we want to look at is what finals feel like. So our common emotional and physical stressors that a lot of students face.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's always going to be these stressors. And I think, we deal with a lot with students who are in panic mode. But, I mean, it does come with finals. There's that emotional stress.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It doesn't matter if you're expert at finals. You still feel that emotional stress, right?
Yeah, because it's... Typically, you're not just writing one exam.
Yeah.
There's probably a few.
Yeah.
You're trying to remember all the things, because usually the finals are cumulative, right? So it's like all the things from the whole semester that you have to prove you learned.
Yep.
So that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure. Absolutely. And, physically, you're going to have all kinds of stress symptoms. I know I struggle with, when I'm really stressed, you get that pit in your stomach kind of thing. There's so much else, right?
Well, not like pit in your stomach. So that could just be a sensation, but sometimes maybe people are not eating like they used to, or maybe they're eating more. Or
drinking too much coffee.
Yeah. Trying to make it through the night, cram in all that information. So you're not really eating. You're finding whatever is really close by, convenient.
Yeah.
Maybe drinking more coffee than normal get through that.
Drinking pop, eating junk food.
You get those energy drinks too. Yeah.
That really messes you physically up for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. And then with stress, it can be common to have that muscle tension. So there could be aches and pains.
Yeah, definitely. I remember, doing some finals and doing those all-nighters. And he felt terrible in the morning.
Yeah.
Even when I was working and doing a night shift, you feel terrible in the morning. Physically.
It feels,
right?
It feels like you have done other things, not just stayed awake.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me. Yeah.
So I have kudos to anybody out there who does night shifts for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
It's definitely tough. So, I mean, some of the top stressors and triggers that students face, you get that fear of failure. We always have that.
Yeah.
I don't want to fail.
Yes. Yeah.
What else do we have?
Procrastination panic. So maybe because it's been so overwhelming to think about finals, to plan for finals or study, we've put it off.
Yeah.
And now we're at the point where we cannot put it off anymore.
Yeah. Right.
And we're trying to jam pack all that information into our brain.
Especially you're procrastinating and you've got 3 finals to do.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you're really procrastinating.
And a couple papers too.
3 of those and the papers.
Or group projects.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the sleep deprivation.
That was my experience in post-secondary, the procrastination panic.
Yeah. How did that play out for you? Just kind of waited?
I would justify myself to myself that it was a motivation for me. I did better.
Oh, yeah. So it was like, I'm going to motivate myself by
I don't have
waiting.
any motivation now, so I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to panic and try to cram everything in those all-nighters. Yeah.
Now, you did make it, but
I did make
I bet
it.
you it was hard.
It was definitely hard.
Yeah.
And looking back, I wasn't the healthiest.
Yeah, exactly right. Those are not healthy times.
But I justified it and powered through.
Yeah.
Luckily didn't experience anything major.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But probably your grades probably suffered a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They weren't the best. Like if I did it now, I definitely would not procrastinate like that. And I would put more effort in. I think I was just generally burnt out because I went straight from high school to post-secondary.
And I think you see that a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of was like, okay, I'm over this. By my 4th year, that procrastination panic was a big thing.
Yeah. And you got that, like we talked about, sleep deprivation. You're doing all-nighters. It is not good for you.
No, it's not.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about overscheduling? I mean, that's one of the things that comes up as a stressor trigger, but I'm not sure how that really plays out.
Well, I think with a lot of the students that I've interacted with and talked to, when you're doing a full course load, so you have many exams, probably papers and projects as well at the end of the year or the end of the semester. And then also a lot of students are working because bills, things are expensive. So you need that income to pay for groceries, to pay for rent. And then you still want to have a social life.
Yeah.
So overscheduling in that way, like having so much to study for, but also having to work and not being able to study at work because probably you're busy there too.
True.
And then also trying to fit in social stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
putting like more and more on your plate. Eh?
Yeah.
That's definitely a stressor. I definitely could see that. One thing that kind of helped me back then keep my perspective was that I really didn't need to be perfect. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was because I was a mature student coming into post-secondary, but, when I was like coming out of high school, I would have said, everything's got to be A plus or, I'm a failure. But later on in life, there's like, no, I don't really have to be perfect. So.
I just have to do my best.
Yeah.
And meet certain benchmarks.
Yeah. Well, not even my best sometimes.
Best in the moment.
I had to do it.
That varies.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
One thing that helped me was remind myself that it was short term.
Right. Temporary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's hard and it's stressful, but there is an end in sight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely helps when you think, okay, this will be over in a week, right?
Yeah. Well, and even thinking about like the school year, it's so short.
It is, really.
So it's a lot of stress packed into a few months.
Yeah.
But it's not 12 months.
Yeah, exactly.
That worked for me. I know that won't work for everybody, but that was something that helped me get through.
For sure. And, back in September, you start your first 2 weeks, you're already doing quizzes and it's like, whoa, right?
Because it is intense. A pretty short time to learn a lot of information.
Oh, definitely. Very short time. So some game plans. So, what do? We try and be smarter instead of working harder, which is
absolutely,
normal in life. Always work smarter.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What we can do, we can look at, have some kind of flexibility in our prep. I think that makes a big thing. Being kind of too rigid is sometimes too much.
Yeah.
And again, that goes to that overscheduling piece, I suppose.
Yes.
But,
and being too rigid, things come up. If we don't have that flexibility in our schedule, that's just going to add that much more stress.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something breaks down, your car breaks down, you got to deal with that.
Or you get sick.
And
you have to take a couple of days off to recover.
Yeah. Need that flexibility for sure. Yeah. What else we got?
Prioritizing high impact subjects.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to, I guess, keep in mind what your priorities are and what courses you're going to study for the most. I mean, if you have 6 courses, which sometimes students have, where's your priority?
Yeah.
Maybe you're doing really well in a course. Maybe that one's not so high of a priority.
Yeah. Something that makes sense to you is easier. Maybe we're not investing as much time. And maybe we're investing more time in those ones that are more challenging. So that we can understand and be able to get through that final. Yeah.
And even, if there's one course that is more, in line with what you're going to continue your education with, maybe that's a priority. Instead, too.
Like if we have more option type courses that are a little more personal interest. Maybe those ones we're not investing as much in.
Like in nursing school, I'd probably prioritize biology over maybe English class. Maybe.
Right? There's spell check for a reason.
Exactly. Time blocking versus cramming, I think, is a big one. Setting some specific times to study is definitely, so block some times out. Cramming, we all know cramming actually doesn't work.
No, your brain doesn't have the opportunity to retain that information, right? Like the way that the memory works. That's not going to help you long term.
Absolutely. So break that time up, break your study time up. And
time blocking too gives you space to rest. So we've mentioned in a few podcasts how important sleep is. And sleep is really important for that memory piece and for your test recalling that information. So
if you don't get enough sleep, then pretty much your brain's not able to keep that information. We did talk about, and when we had the episode on open book exams, we talked about that Pomodoro technique.
Right? I was going to bring that up.
Which is really cool. I really like that. Remind us what that looks like.
So like when we're talking about time blocking, it's not just blocking 2 hours and you're sitting for 2 hours straight staring at your notes, trying to memorize them.
Exactly.
It's taking those breaks. And I think it's like 20 minutes of study, 10 minutes of rest, 5 minutes.
25, 5, 20, 10, whatever.
And you're doing like 3 rounds of that 20, 25 minutes studying. And then you're taking a longer break after those 3 rounds. So you're taking short breaks for 3 sets. This is my fitness coming out for 3 sets. And then taking a longer break and then going back. So you are taking breaks to like, again, help you remember that information. Because when we allow our brain to relax when we come back, it's easier to focus.
Absolutely. Your brain does need that time. What else we've got? We've got testing yourself without looking at your notes. That's a good one, because I think if we're just sticking to our notes, are we really learning it?
Or just reading.
So definitely testing ourselves. It really helps build our memory and such. So
we can teach it to someone else. I like this technique. This is something I didn't know about in post-secondary, and I kind of wish I had. But like the research and the information on it, just like, it's so good for us to like actually learn and retain and like absorb the knowledge. Like it's not just that we're like memorizing. We are teaching someone else what we're learning and then teaching it in our own way so that again we can it can stick in our brain a bit better.
What's that old adage that we say, learn it, do it, teach it, something like that?
I think so.
So I mean that definitely helps. And I think, if we're teaching to someone else, we're able to break it down in concepts that we believe that we can understand, which, maybe that other person doesn't. But for ourselves, we learn the information a lot better.
And I was even going to say, if we're trying to teach it to somebody and they're like, what?
Maybe
that tells us we need to learn a little bit more.
Absolutely. Maybe we don't have it all, right? There's the, what do they call it? Feynman technique. So basically that is trying to teach a tough subject in plain language. So it really does break down as well, not only the information that we're trying to teach at that point, but it makes it in simple language that most people should understand. And I think that clarifies in our head what that subject really means.
Cool.
Right. Doing flashcards works. Just anything that will really strengthen your memory. We said testing ourselves without looking at our notes. Just anything, any of these tips. There's so many.
There's often like online quizzes in topics that we're studying that we can practice.
Yeah.
If we have roommates or peers that we are working with, maybe we can like do like quiz each other or do those flashcards with each other just to, again, variety, different ways to learn the material so that we are understanding it when we go into that exam.
Yeah. And the same thing, you've got a group of cohorts that you've probably made connections with over the semester.
Yeah.
And again, teaching that small group, everybody takes a turn teaching a section.
A piece of
maybe,
it, yeah.
Right? And I think those definitely work really well. Some myths, highlighting. We talked about this once. Highlighting is the best way to learn.
Yeah.
Not
so
good.
Not really.
No?
You can highlight something and not even know what you're highlighting.
Yeah.
Like you could just randomly put a highlighter to a sentence.
Yeah.
And,
well, this makes sense. Highlight it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make sense.
No. Yeah. I think like for myself, and I know this isn't true for everybody, but for myself, for me to like learn even just a bit of something, I do need to write it down.
Right. Yeah.
Like it just, if I highlighted it, I've read it and it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it doesn't stay in my brain.
Yeah. I've definitely done that where I've just highlighted too much. And so I'm going, oh yeah, this is important, highlight. Oh yeah, this is important, highlight.
Yes. And then you look back and the whole page
is
highlighted.
Highlighted, right? And it's like, what am I supposed to learn here, right? Yeah. So it really, like you said, you can't digest the material. It's just too hard that way.
Yeah. And we could like highlight a few key points, but then maybe taking that information and writing it in our own words in a way that we understand.
Yeah. And again, we're teaching ourselves in a sense that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one, the all-nighters we've talked about, of course.
Yeah.
Don't work.
Yeah, they don't work. Like they can get us through that quiz or that exam, but in the future, we may not be able to recall that information because we didn't get the proper rest. We didn't take the time to learn that information, teach ourselves that information. Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes even, I mean, we're talking about all-nighters and of course the sleep issue and stuff, but even, that cramming just before the test, that's just, relating information, you're writing the test, you're throwing the information out, but have you really learned it? Probably not.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So definitely the sleep, like we talked about the brain definitely needs some sleep. You've got, your brain needs to rest. If you're filling it with caffeine, it's not resting.
Yes.
If you're filling it with alcohol, your brain is not resting and you can't even cognitively understand things.
There are people, and I used to be one of them, who say, no, I can sleep when I drink or when I have caffeine. And yes, you can. That is definitely possible. Lots of people do it. But the sleep quality is the part that impacts us. We don't get that good quality sleep, that REM deep sleep that can help our brain retain that information. So like that short-term, long-term memory, like it'll be in our short-term for that quiz. Yeah. But it won't make it to our long-term memory if we don't get that proper rest, if we don't take that time to like learn the information outside of an all-nighter.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that sense, if you're looking at another course that builds on a course.
Yes. And typically that's what our education is.
Right. And it just makes it harder and harder. You end up struggling more and more. Yeah. Because you're not retaining that information.
Yeah. Yeah, thinking of like building a foundation. If we're not building that foundation, that information from earlier courses, the stuff, like it's going to crumble. We're going to have more stress. We're not going to be able to make it through.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What about some signs of burnout? What would that look like?
Oh, signs of burnout. So there's lots of different signs. Emotionally, we could be more irritable. Yes. We could also be numb.
Yeah. Can see that.
We may cry more often than we used to. That was definitely one that I had in my post-secondary. Oh, yeah.
I can't remember crying, but I probably did.
Oh, crying at the tiniest thing and being like, what is wrong with me? Looking back, it was stress and burnout.
Yeah, burnout.
Trying to do too much.
Exactly.
Physically, we've talked more about this like earlier in the episode. So like those aches and pains, digestion issues. Appetite changes.
Yeah, your appetite really goes off kilter.
If our appetite's changing, then our physique may change as well.
Yeah.
And then cognitively, that, like that numbness that I mentioned emotionally, we can also feel that cognitively, like just not being present, not being able to focus or recall the information that we have been studying.
Yeah, I definitely still feel that, when you're feeling burnt out in work and such, your brain is just not cognitively working, and it's so hard to get your job done.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we're like physically present.
Yes.
But cognitively, emotionally, just not there.
Yeah.
And not able to do what we're supposed to be doing.
And really, how functioning are we then? So in regards to exams and studying, we're just not able to.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And these are like some of the major signs of burnout that statistically we see a lot. But know that these aren't the only ones. And people can have lots of different experiences.
Yep.
So looking at your life and when you've been in high stress, like what did you experience? And if like for our listeners, if you're not sure, if you haven't really thought about this in the past, even talking to the people close to us can help us understand what our signs of stress and burnout are better. So that we can know them. Because when we know them and we're aware of them, it's more easy to pick up on them and do what we need to so we don't get really deep into that burnout. Yeah,
and that's a great tip, Ask those people close to you. Hey, when I'm stressed, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And you can actually get some pretty good insights in that.
Yeah, because we know often we know our big major signs, but we don't always necessarily know those earlier signs.
Yeah.
Whereas the people we're around a lot would.
Yeah.
They see it.
Yeah.
Likely before we do.
Yeah, much quicker.
Yeah.
For sure. What about the stress performance curve? You want to explain that?
What is that?
So basically, a stress performance curve is, again, you've got that, let's say
is it like ideal?
You got that bell curve.
Yeah.
Right?
I know this in a different way.
Yeah. You want to explain it?
You explain yours and then I'll explain mine.
Okay. So you've got that bell curve and you've got stress, and basically that performance level is kind of that sweet spot on that bell curve.
Yeah.
Where, if you have too little stress, you're not actually functioning well enough. If you have too much stress, you're not functioning well enough. It's that kind of top sweet spot that basically where you're performing ideally, right? That's how I understand it.
Yes. So I think from what you're explaining, my understanding, you need enough stress to be motivated to do what you are going to be doing.
Yeah.
But not too much stress, because then you shut down or you get overwhelmed or you get anxious. So it's kind of figuring out where that flow state, that's the way I know it, flow state.
Yeah, like that.
From, I think, Csikszentmihalyi. He wrote a book called Flow State. Yeah. And his is a graph, so X, Y.
Right.
And that flow state's in the middle. So if you don't have enough skills for it, then you are going to disengage because it's too much, it's too overwhelming.
Yeah.
But if what you're doing is your skill level isn't high enough, then that's like overwhelming again. So it's kind of that finding that sweet spot where you have the skills or you're challenged just enough
to make it,
to have that stress, to be motivated, to do that thing, to like get into it, to find that state where you have that flow.
Yeah.
So that's just a couple ways of looking at that, I think.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a good thing to think about for sure. There are some strategies we can use to kind of reset ourselves.
Can I go back to the flow state for a minute?
Yeah, let's keep going.
So we talked about like that performance curve and that flow state. Yeah. If we're finding that we don't have the skills, asking for help.
Yeah.
If we're finding that we're not challenged enough, maybe stepping to that next level, finding that a little bit like past our skill level to challenge us a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that may be in school, but if that's not possible, if we don't have control over that, finding that in our like outside of school life.
Yeah.
To find that flow state, because flow state can help with stress.
Yes. Yeah. No, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably a pretty fine line sometimes between
too much, absolutely.
Not no stress, too much stress, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, finding that balance can be a lot of trial and error.
It can be, yeah.
But yeah, just something to think about with stress.
Definitely. So reset strategies, what do you think? What would help?
Going for a walk.
Yeah.
So like we talked with that Pomodoro earlier, that 5-minute break or that 15-minute break, maybe we're going for a walk. That bilateral stimulation can be really beneficial.
Yeah, helps clear your head, helps a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right? The physical, definitely. I like the digital detox. I think oftentimes everybody's so plugged in to their phones, their tablets, their computers, that we need to kind of step away from that electronic stimulation. I think it's so important. I think, in this age, we really need to look at, doing that more often. Yeah. Not only does it help, I guess, in studying, but it helps overall in relationships and everything.
Yes. Yeah. Which kind of leads to our third little reset strategy, a mindful minute.
Yeah, you love mindfulness.
I do. Yeah. I do love mindfulness because mindfulness brings you to the present moment.
It does, yeah.
Which is all you have control over. We can, when we are getting really overwhelmed or anxious or stressed, we are either stressing about maybe the past, our past experiences, so that exam we failed last time.
Right, yeah.
Or we're stressing about the future. I'm not going to pass this test. I'm not going to learn all this information in time. But when we bring ourselves back to the moment, what we have control over, that can help our focus, that can help our stress levels. There's like so much research on it, like reducing heart rate, improving blood pressure, improving sleep. So something to think about. And mindfulness doesn't have to be sitting quietly with your thoughts. Like that can be it. But it can also be very active. Like that walk we mentioned, you can go for a mindful walk, just paying attention to where you are, what it feels like to move your body.
And there's so much, like mindful eating even is helpful, Definitely the basis of anybody who has anxiety is thinking too much in the past or too much in the future, like you said. So that mindfulness moment is definitely helpful. Yeah. And, I'm buying into it a little bit. I know I say like,
well, if you had met me maybe 10 years ago, mindfulness, blah, what is that? That's hokey. Learning through practice and like not intentionally practicing, just doing things that were more mindful. I'm like, this is what people have been talking about.
That's what it is. I get it now, right?
So finding what works.
Some of the things that, back when I was doing exams and such, some of the things that I wish that I kind of set up a little better was, family time. Because I was a mature student, I had family. I think if I prioritized a little bit more of that family time, that definitely would have helped me focus on things that I needed to learn. Yeah.
For me, it would have been planning out my semester, like breaking it down into little steps. And I know we're a bit late for that advice now in the semester,
but there's next semester.
So looking at when you have exams, when you have papers, and what does it look like for little steps to get there? How much do we need to study? If we're breaking it down really small, starting at the beginning of the semester, maybe it's 5 or 10 minutes a day. So it's not this big like 2-hour cram session. And then when we get closer to those exams or those tests, our review doesn't have to be that big, huge, stressful event. It can be, I've been studying this all semester. I know this information. I just need to refresh my memory.
I mean, I tell this to all the students I see. Plan it out. Here's write out what you have to do.
And I think I was told that too. And I was like, procrastinating works for me.
That's just how I work best. Right?
Now I know that was not true.
Absolutely. Our survival toolkit. What can we do with that?
So we have a few tips here. Our first one, snacks. Fuel your body and your brain.
Snacks are good, but not bad snacks.
Well, yes. Yeah, we want nutritious snacks that give us energy, that help our brain focus.
If you eat too much sugar, you get that sugar crash. Boom, you're out, right?
Well, and sodium, like too much sodium, like those salty snacks, also not great.
Not so good.
So finding those things that have good nutritional value that can give our bodies the energy we need.
Everybody loves fruit, don't they?
I think, well, not everybody, but not everybody. Most.
A lot of people, most people. There's some kind of fruit out there that's good. Right? And that's usually a pretty good snack, right?
Well, and there are snacks that we can, like, even if we're thinking like bars or chips or stuff, there are some that are healthier.
Yeah.
So even doing that, like small steps.
Yeah, absolutely. And a peanut butter sandwich is good
yes.
too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Carbs for energy.
Yeah.
Peanut butter has protein in it to fill you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes more
You could add jam for a little bit of sweetness.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, jam's good too. Hydrating is good.
Yes.
I think a lot of us think that, hey, we're drinking all this pop and coffee, we're hydrated. Not really, because it actually dehydrates us in the long run.
Yeah.
But it is liquid. But I think water is a huge thing. I think if people drank more water and they're hydrated, I think it really does help with your brain functioning and it helps with everything. Yeah. The way your body feels and stuff.
It just feels so much better when you're hydrated.
Definitely.
Yeah. Having a playlist or a podcast for study breaks.
Yeah. So there's that break time again and having a good playlist. I have tons of good playlists that I like.
Yeah.
I don't do much podcasts, but they could listen to this podcast.
They could, yeah.
Right? How is that?
Pick up a few tips.
Would that be a break? I hope so.
Maybe.
Yeah. Sleep hygiene's a big one.
Yes.
Again, making sure that you get enough sleep, but also sleep hygiene is more than just getting sleep. It's about kind of having a sleep routine and getting yourself prepped for sleep. And don't study in your bedroom. Don't study in your dorm room.
Yeah.
Go out into the table somewhere and study, and then come back and sleep in the bedroom. That's your sleeping zone. So make it your sleeping zone kind of thing. So yeah, definitely sleep hygiene 101 kind of thing is just encourage that you do sleep. Make sure your room is the only place that you'll sleep, your bedroom. Do the same routine before you go to bed. So if you're going to have a shower before sleep, do that every night so that it encourages that same time sleep time. Yeah.
And then, like routine. So trying to get to bed around the same time, waking up around the same time. I think it's like 30 to 60 minutes within that. And then part of what I've learned is that the number of hours isn't always like the most important.
Yeah.
It's that routine before bed. It's that routine when you wake up and then trying to be consistent with that. And then noticing how you feel. So some people feel great after 5 hours of sleep. Some people feel great after 9.
I know.
So it's not always 8 that we've been told, finding what works for you.
8 hours a night. No, it doesn't work always.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually get by with 5 or 6 hours kind of thing. Not that I wouldn't enjoy a good 9-hour sleep, but
you do all right with that.
I do all right with those. Yeah, definitely. Anything
else? And
else?
then our last one, stay connected with our supports.
Right.
We've talked about this in past podcasts as well, that tend and befriend can be an opposite to fight or flight. And also they can help us get through those stressful times.
Yeah. We know, I think it's pretty clear out there that connections that we have really are the best thing to fight mental health struggles. So including
staying
stress,
connected,
including your anxiety, including depression, just staying connected with people, right?
Yeah. And if we have to, like, scheduling that in so that it doesn't get missed.
That's right.
In the overwhelm of studying and working and prepping for the next thing.
Yeah. And whatever those, touch points are. Could be a friend, could be a relative, could be a mom, dad, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, okay, some takeaways from today. Basically, we don't want to just survive our finals, right? We want to really strategize what we're doing. We want to make sure we're using some of these tips, being flexible, prioritizing what matters, those time blocks, right?
Making sure, like, with those time blocks, we're building that foundation of knowledge to help us in the future. Yeah.
Active studying is better than passive, right?
Yes. So, finding what works, cue cards, notes.
Definitely. Quiz yourself.
Teaching a friend.
Absolutely. Burnout, we got to watch for signs of burnout. Yes. Definitely. Taking some short breaks, always good. Sleep, knowing
very
your boundaries.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't really stress enough about sleep.
Yeah, right? Sleep is so important.
Yeah. So don't do the all-nighters.
No.
Not good for you.
No.
It messes your brain up kind of thing.
I do want to put a little plug in here. With that burnout, if you're not sure how to recover or prevent, we have a self-care episode.
Yeah,
so go check that out.
That's right. That's right. We've got so many episodes on good stuff.
Yeah, we do.
I think you got to go back and listen to some for sure. Yeah, you're not alone out there. So reach out to people, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family. One thing, again, one of my favorite guys is Zig Ziglar. He says success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. Right? And I kind of like that.
Yeah. Please share this with your peers and friends, your study group, and then follow us for more semester survival tips.
Yeah.
Like Steve mentioned, check out our library of episodes. We do have quite a few now.
Yeah.
And if you have comments, if you have suggestions for future episodes, please reach out to us, either commenting here or sending us a quick email.
Yeah, that'd be great. Love to hear from you. And if you want to even share some of your pictures of you studying really hard and being successful and getting that A on your exam. Hey, great. Even your C on the exam.
Yes.
We're happy with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have to be perfect.
No.
Yeah.
Best effort in that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So another Fearless Journeys episode, and everybody take care and have a great day.
Good luck on finals.